too, along with staff. So just, and I wonder if it's not the amount of students, you know, that we're taking per area.
I think it's something we gotta study. I
Yeah.
agree with you completely.
Something that I thought about, because why not have students, and I know this is gonna be a problem but why not have them work 3 to 11, 11 to 7, or like you said, weekends?
Well, you know why? Because we've not done it that way.
Years and years and
It used
years
to be a
and
rotation. It
years.
used to be a rotation. You had to do so many
We
weeks of
did.
days and so many weeks of nights and like maybe one shift of
Mhm.
weekends or something to get that idea of the differences. But I
Yeah,
don't
but
think they do that anymore.
I don't know when it sort of evolved into daytimes, but I'll bet you it's been 15 years since they were on off shifts.
Probably because of instructors. They didn't wanna do
Well, and I
that.
think that's the thing, is they bring the whole class at one time instead of splitting them out, you know, so many per day or
But see, I
something.
think that's what we can study and fundamentally ask ourselves, is there a better way to do what we're trying to do, which is to get them practical, real-world exposure and interactions. And, you know, we should be also using that to look at them, right? Because if we're gonna hire any of them, we want the
Right.
pick of the litter.
Mhm.
And that should be a window for us to get to know them as well. I think it's a good insight on your part. So you got no risk, huh? 2 weeks. I'm anxious to see what you got to say.
Our main concern in the nursing home department is our loss of business. In the past 2 years, we have lost like 6 big nursing home accounts. We used to have a nursing home coordinator who went and visited all of our clients at least once every 2 months to see what problems they had, what changes we could make. We don't have that position anymore. So we have no one that's doing like a PR to these nursing homes to see what's going on, and consequently, other labs have come in and taken our business.
That's a real price-driven business now, reference lab. I mean, big time. I'll give you an example. The nursing homes in Baltimore use all use a lab from upstate New York. And because they're saving, I mean, they're paying like $1.19 a test. And the high customer service and willingness to pay for that has been the challenge, I think, in that business.
Mhm.
How long have you been without a customer service person?
It's going on 3 years now.
That was about the time we moved in. About the time we moved in
Mhm.
here. I have to look at that again. I don't remember being part of that. I was part of losing Western Maryland. The contract with Western Maryland. And I think we got that back, didn't we? Or we're on the verge of getting it
I
back.
don't know.
And that was pure price. I mean, pure price. And it was 40–50% lower than what we had been servicing it at. So,
Yeah, the nursing homes bring in a lot of business.
you mean lab work business?
Yes, lab work business.
Yeah, I mean, it's the backbone of your reference lab work. It has historically been profitable,
Mhm.
because, you know, a lot of what we do is business, but we pay, it costs us money to do the diabetes center. We're booming in the business of treating diabetics. We lose money on every patient that comes through the door. You do it because you gotta take care of that population, or they end up in the ER and cost you even more money. I'll have to take a look at that. I'll ask about that.
Okay, that'd be great.
We got a new guy running the lab. I haven't really spent much time with him.
I haven't met him yet either.
Smart guy. I've heard him talk. Impressive fellow. Diane?
Well, I've been with the hospital since January of '05. I started as a nursing assistant and went into be a cardiac monitor tech. And we were switching over from the old hospital to the new. But what I see here is I'd like to see some really education. We're seeing a real lack of it with a lot of our seasoned nurses gone. A lot of the new nurses haven't a clue. You can learn all you can out of a book, but they don't have the experience. They can't see the bigger picture of what's coming next. They can only treat what they can do at that immediate moment. We just seen the real difference, you know, like it's like everything with our a lot of the associate nurses coming in, a lot of the new grads and things like this that are, and it's not against them. Everybody has to learn. I mean, I'm still learning. I'd like to see a lot more education with cardiac in our cardiac care units. Or we've actually taken our med-surg floors now. We do more cardiac there, where they're using telemetry to monitor. And it's not mainly for their cardiac that they're there for cardiac, but with the meds that they're given, if they do have a cardiac history, they might not be there specifically for that reason, but it's going to react to what is going to cause them to have problems. And we're just seeing a lot of it. We're seeing more and more when they're coming into us, they're more critical.
If they get admitted, it's, yeah, they're
Yeah,
much
it's really more critical than we've ever seen
much-
before.
yeah.
But it's, I see that they've moving forward with some things, but other things, you know, that used to work, you know, I'm old school too. If it wasn't broke, you know, why fix it?
Mhm.
If it was working well, but then I realized with technology and with the new, you know, hospital and the competition and things like this, and
You know, a lot of it, to be honest, I mean, is cost driven.
yes,
You know, if you bought a Lawn Boy lawnmower 20 years ago, it was all cast aluminum, and the wheels were cast aluminum, and if you bought one 10 years ago, the deck was still cast aluminum, but now the wheels are plastic, and it really is trying to, you know, deal with those inflationary cost pressures. And it is, I think we make good decisions, and I think there are times that, you know, you look at a decision and think, well, we should have probably done something different there with it. That's gonna be healthcare for the next 20 years, is dealing, as the baby boomers push through, you know, the resource consumption that the baby boomers represent is gonna be incredible. I remember 10 years ago, there was this belief that the baby boomers were gonna be healthier and not cost us as much money to care for, but I really think it's almost like the opposite, you know. They're bringing a lot of the diseases of consumption into their elderly years. I mean, I don't know if you see it, anecdotally, it seems to me that we treat more people in their 30s with heart attacks than ever before. You know, I don't have any data, so it might not be true, but it just seems like that.
but we're a product of our environment. And that we're not healthier, we're not eating healthier, we're more processed foods, more
heart
fast
issues.
paced.
Stress.
Yeah, which is creating a lot of those issues. I know for myself. I myself am taking care of my elderly mother. I've had her since 2002. I can't afford a nursing home, you know, or anything. I mean, it's outrageous. I just, you know, so I'm doing the best I can. I work night shift, not because my body wants me to go to day shift, but because of taking care of my mother, I have to stay on night shift because it's just more convenient for us. So we are a product of our environment. Things aren't going to change. Everything's changing, from the way we live to what we do.
You know, I hope I'm wrong with what I'm about to say, but in some ways, our standard of living as a nation seems like it's shifting. You know, I don't know that our kids will live the same quality of life that we've lived. certainly not as easily and not as readily. And I think that's a tremendous challenge, and I think it's a tremendous expression of failed leadership that we as a nation are, you know, at the edge of that, at a minimum, at the edge of it. I don't know what the answer is. I'd run for office if I did.
I don't know why anyone would run for office.
Well, because it matters. I mean, that's the reason you would is it matters. We gotta figure this stuff out. It matters. You know, I think a new bunch couldn't do any worse, but that's just me.
I agree, I don't think it's,
So you keep mom at home, huh?
yes.
What do you do with her when you're at work?
I have somebody there all of the week now. Thank goodness I have a partner now that's with her. He's retired.
That's a challenge.
Yeah, before it was Lifeline, I relied on Lifeline, you know, and neighbors, so. But it's, I'm seeing more and more of that. It's just,
I did it for
Yeah.
years.
and I think we're seeing, years ago, but if you look back at history, we're repeating history. I mean, a lot of the older ones, you take care of your parents. And, you know, because our parents did it for their parents. But it's, I don't know, there's no easy answer. But we're all changing, and we have to change because our environment and the way we live and everything is changing. And our needs are changing.
Eat your orange.
People are
Eat
living
orange.
longer,
People are living longer. That's the
but
phenomenon.
not necessarily healthy
Yeah.
living longer.
Well, you know what's interesting? A good personal friend of mine is a guy named Sam Ross, and Sam runs Bon Secours Hospital in West Baltimore. And Sam came to Maryland about 10 years ago from Texas. He was a physician and he became president of that hospital. And, you know, Bon Secours is in West Baltimore, and I don't know how much you know about Baltimore, but West Baltimore's, you know, is a very, very downtrodden urban ghetto for the most part. And the average life expectancy of a resident of West Baltimore is 62 years old. That's amazing.
Yes.
And it's, you know, it's sort of, you concentrate all the social problems into a tight, small area, and you can begin to see what it really adds up to when it's concentrated, and it's scary.
Well, I like the school health program, and I hope we keep it, and I think Meritus keeps us nurses working for the nursing program. We are like up there to the public, and I think it's a good thing, and most of us are conscious about that aspect. And, you know, parents and community sees us, and they know we merit us, and how long we proud of what we're doing, and we're doing the right way. I think that's a very good thing for the community and the hospital as a whole, you know. And I always am proud because I work in the old hospital and the new in Meritus and the new hospital, and I work emergency room, and of course, you know, and I always mention that. And I see a different reaction from the teachers, from principals, from parents. You know, it's just a school nurse who doesn't know much, you know. That was kind of picture. They picture us before, you know. But when I am very proud, and I tell I work for Meritus, we have policies, we have, you know, we follow our policies, we follow the hospital's trends, and it's a good thing, and it's a good feeling.
You know, I get positive feedback from the physicians too, because they get the school nurses' notes and they know what's going on with their patients at school.
And yes, and I have a physician's wife today. She came to talk to me because he was aware. His son is coming with his program to my school. So make sure you talk to my old nurse. You know, so yes, we are there. It's a good program, I think, and I
Have
would
you
like
seen
to
the
see
numbers?
continue.
Have you seen the statistics? It's staggering. We do 20,000 plus